everybody, it's Guy Pacha with the weekly Pele Report. Welcome to July 2nd of 2025. What is going on? I want to talk to you about a couple of things this week. There's a turning point, Neptune stationing, at the 3rd degree of Aries to go retrograde from now really until December 9th. We're going to have Neptune retrograde. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Then we've got Venus coming into a conjunction with Uranus. I'd say it's going on from now until Sunday. Venus moves about a degree a day, so it's pretty fast but powerful. At the critical degree, the 29th, the last degree of Taurus. And then Venus goes into Gemini on Friday, and Uranus goes into Gemini next Monday. So we have a transitional phase from earthly Taurus to airy Gemini. I want to talk to you about that a little bit. Venus will trine Pluto on Monday, as Pluto is up there in Aquarius, air to air to air to air. And the moon, in the meantime, is moving right on through Libra. She's in Libra today and tomorrow, and then is going to go into Scorpio on Friday. I'm down here for my last day here on the American River, getting on a plane tonight. So look at this water. It's a mirror down there. Absolutely beautiful. So by Saturday, the moon is definitely waxing. She's getting bigger and bigger every day. She's going to come into a trine to the sun when she moves into Scorpio on Saturday. Well, she moves into Scorpio on Friday, and then she comes into trine the sun on Saturday. Keeps on going through Sunday and opposes Uranus. Trines Saturn and Neptune, opposes Venus. Sunday there's a lot of lunar action. It could be kind of a loony day for you. But yeah, I think that is, pretty much enough for a good, solid Pele report. Let me look at the camera and talk to you all about it. All right, everybody. Coming up to the 4th of July up here in the United States, Independence Day. Okay, well, let's start with Uranus then, the planet of independence. And it's way much more in evolutionary astrology than just independence, okay? Uranus rules the personal unconscious, the Akashic record of your soul, everything that you've ever been, every potential that you have existing within you, and every future possible expression of your soul nature. That's a lot, right? And now we have Venus, how the soul connects to the body, this feminine energy of, bringing love into this life, into this world, our relationship to ourselves, our ability to love ourselves, coming around, to touch, to connect with, to talk with, right? There's just a little meeting of Venus with Uranus, and she wants to take away. She's like, okay, what is unique? What is the genius of this being? What is the star energy? Uranus is like lightning bolts of awareness, opening the third eye. So Venus is coming around to get enlightened around maybe a new set of values, a new identity, a new relationship. Certainly around our relationship to money and our body. So this is an enlightening weekend, where you may have flashes of insight, flashes of intuition. On the other hand, if you are like really unconscious, you may have things happen to you, unpredictable events, people coming and going out of your life, maybe shocking surprises. But what we want to keep in mind, and this is what the mantra is about, this week, and this is what you can't believe the Sabian symbols I'm going to be reading. I'm going to read 2 of them. I'll read you the Sabian symbol for this right now. It's It's powerful. It's amazing. It even mentions Venus. So this is the last degree of Taurus. The critical degree of, like, get it together. Set your priorities, get grounded, invest in yourself and in your truth, trust your intuition. And the symbol for it is a peacock parading on the terrace of an old castle. Hence the peacock at the beginning of the report and the thumbnail. A great person able to display a multitude of gifts is always, at one level or another, the consummation of a long past of efforts and victories. As a great occultist once wrote, adepts are the flowering of their races and cultures. The peacock is the bird consecrated to Venus. In occult tradition, the Promethean, which is Uranus, right? Spirits who gave to animal mankind the divine gift of self-conscious intelligence. They had come from Venus, which may or may not refer to the physical planet we can observe in the sky. So Venus conjunct Uranus, Venus conjunct Prometheus, this is a tapping into and an expression of. They both go into Gemini, right? Gemini is networking, talking, speaking, communicating, sharing our truth, sharing our light, sharing what we love. Boom. Like I said, Uranus is going to stay there in Gemini. It goes, up, a degree or two, and then by November 9th, okay, it's going to go retrograde, and it will go back into Taurus. So, for now, it's like from today until Sunday, we have this conjunction. This is an especially good opportunity for you to, as we're going to see with this Neptune stationing to go retrograde, go inside, introspection. And really, it's not so much a time of seeking advice. What do you think about this plan, about this idea, about this purchase, about this sale? This is a time to tap into our own genius, your own unique path that nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you, okay, nobody can reveal, okay, your truth. You have to dig inside for your own truth, yeah? And this is, really profoundly true with Neptune stationing. Now, Neptune stations at that same degree, okay, the third degree, from June 9th until August 1st. So, this is almost 3 months where Neptune is, boom, sitting right on the same Sabian symbol. What is that Sabian symbol? Before it goes retrograde, let me talk a little bit about the station retrograde. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's just like, and Neptune is the planet of dreams, possibilities, potentials, and illusions. And Neptune wants to show us our illusions. So this can be a time of disillusionment, right? And it's kind of like the station is, Neptune is, burgeoned into Aries, and it's come up, and it's like you set off Aries, charge, a new future. Okay, I'm going to do this. I am this. I'm going to be this. I'm going to, I'm going to the store to buy a telescope, and you get in the car and you drive off, and oops, you forgot your wallet. turn around, go back. Neptune's going back into Pisces. Let's kind of reflect on this dream a little bit. See if it's just like a real fantasy, or it's misguided, or I got it from, out of the blue, or some movie that I watched, or if it's really true to my soul path. It's like, I'm going off to, Africa. Oh, speaking of which, Africa. There was a cancellation, and there is one spot available. If you've wanted to come on safari to Africa, you better jump on the link right below in YouTube. Click on that baby and get that last ticket. We're all filled up, but there's one spot that opened up, yeah? Anyway, but it's like setting off for the airport, and oops, I forgot my passport. I gotta go back. So Neptune is going to be going back. Like I said, it's retrograde until December. This is a lot of time for reflection. It may feel like things are not happening fast enough for you. And in some ways, this is what the mantra is about. This is what the test is about. This is what the challenge is about. It's really keeping positive. It's really staying optimistic. It's really staying in the sense, Jupiter in Cancer, that life is supporting me, spirit is supporting me. People that come into my life, now are, good to help me with my future. People that go out of my life right now maybe would have, stopped or blocked me from reaching my future soul intention. So there is this, underlying trust in yourself, in ourselves. And this is what we need to really tap into. Our emotions, some emotions can come up, some fears, some insecurities. I can't let go of this, that, or the other thing. I don't know what lies ahead. The future is, I don't have something to grab onto right now. This is really a period where we are all getting tested as to our will, as to our, truth, and staying in the light without going down the spiral into the wormhole of confusion, of darkness, of despair. As things change, the scenery gets changed, the props get changed, and there's a blank stage there for a little bit. So don't fear the void, because in some way, shape, and form, the universe hates a void, and it will fill that void. Let me read to you this Sabian symbol for Neptune stationing and sitting at this degree, okay, where it is, like I said, for almost 3 months until August 1st, and it's been there for a little while. This is a long one, but it's so appropriate. The cameo profile of a man suggesting the shape of his country. The sustaining power of the whole as the individual identifies him or herself with its life. Having become objectively aware of our nature and our basic humanity, the individualizing person finds power and inner security in realizing their essential identity with the section of the universe in which they operate. Identify, feel into, okay, I'm going back to Costa Rica, I'm going to feel into Costa Rica. I'm here in California, I feel into California. And this is this connection. The macrocosm mirrors the microcosm. He and it seem to his consciousness united in a cosmic planetary process, in a participation mystique. Metaphysically expressed, this is the concept of the identity of Atman or Brahman. In another sense, through his ability to identify himself with the complex of life activities surrounding him, The individual person can become truly not only an image and representation of the whole, of his natal environment, local, planetary, and perhaps eventually cosmic, but an agent through whom the whole may express itself in an act of creative resonance and outpouring. We're talking about channeling, right? We're talking about becoming an instrument of divine intelligence, of creator, of source, moving through us, getting the ego out of the way, getting the little self quiet, and the mind stilled so that we can become a channel of the whole. Healers, bringers of the light. This is the avatar ideal, the ideal of a transpersonal life. And consciousness totally consecrated to and directed by a divine power. This power can also be conceived as the archetypal self, the Christ principle, as it operates in and through an individual person and destiny, who have become its outward manifestation in order to meet a collective human need. This is just amazing that Neptune, the planet of the collective unconscious, is sitting here at this degree, calling our attention to the fact that we are mirrors of the whole, that we can channel the whole, that we can meet the needs of the whole, that we can feel the needs of the whole, that we are, wow, this is so powerful. The concept of the formal structural identity of the universal macrocosm, this guy's out there, man, and the human microcosm is a very important one, as it manifests itself at many levels. To the modern individual, assailed by surface evidence of meaninglessness and futility, it gives a feeling of participation in the vast tide of evolution. It is the answer to the tragic sense of alienation so prevalent today. The key words are participation in a greater life. You know, we may feel, with all of the madness going on politically and economically, we may feel pretty alienated from the materialism, the greediness, the way things are moving technologically, and what people are chasing after with AI and, you know, all of the possessions and materialism. We may feel like we are alienated, isolated, separated. We can't connect. We can't feel this oneness. I want to encourage you, and Neptune says, connect to the larger psychic astral whole. There is a large, huge upheaval happening now, and it's almost like we can be like a plow, okay, that is cutting through that soil, making room, making way, opening, yes, helping our brothers and sisters to open, right? Bringing in the light to allow for the new seeds to be planted. So it's very important for us, like I say, on the one hand, we need to kind of separate ourselves, individualize ourselves with this Venus-Uranus. Yeah, no, I'm not part of the flock that's, I am more of a shepherd, and I want to really, be a channel of this higher intelligence, of this genius, right? To like help guide the flock instead of, falling into a lackadaisical acceptance of powerlessness. So this, Mars moving through Virgo, Jupiter moving through Cancer, it's saying that we need to stand in our own personal truth, in our own personal power, and not be coerced or manipulated or drawn, into the flock, but step aside and become shepherds. This is a time, this is what Saturn is asking for, right? Is for each of us to step up as spiritual authorities. So the song for this week is Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Pink Floyd, one of my favorites. And it has to do so much with what? Boom. Ow! The mantra for this week. I call upon the source of creation to help me set things right. Rebirth myself like a newborn star, a true radiant being of light. This is a time more than any other time to cling, to hold on to that light within, to feel that light within, to meditate on the light within. I am an agent of light. I am a sunbeam bursting from the source of light, the sun, the star in this solar system. I will not be dragged down. I will not despair. I am going to stay in the light. This is the challenge. This is the test. And that remembering that light is within. Yeah? Introspection, if you need to take some time out, if you need to be alone and by yourself for a little while to recalibrate, to do your breath work, don't forget your yoga and your meditation now, and really bring in the light, because I'll tell you, it's needed. Yeah. There is a lot of loss and energy happening that can really pull us down and out, and we want to stay up and light. You can do this. It's a challenge. Pay attention to your intuition and how you feel in a conversation, every room that you walk into, every conversation that you start. Be careful of your environment, the music, the art, the neighborhood, and place yourself in nourishing, uplifting, beautiful surroundings. Go to the river, go to the ocean, go to the park. Surround yourself with flowers, really, and pull in the beauty of life, rather than getting on the screen and reading about the disasters and the problems and all the economic woes and all the, political mayhem. It's like, I'm saying that, that is a very small surface part of reality. And this Saturn-Neptune, conjunction wants us to connect to a much larger, slow-moving, it's like the future is like a glacier, It's a slow-moving glacier. Don't get lost in the here and now, in the little details and the things that are coming and going, but tap into what is Spirit really wanting to take away. What is Spirit really bringing in? And have the courage, this is the sign of Aries, have that courage to say no, have that courage to let go, have that courage to trust in the divine, step into the void, knowing that I am an intrinsic part of creation. The web of life. I am sewn in to the web of life. I'm not falling out. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to disappear. I'm not going to lose. No, I am held by invisible strings of silver cords of light. Because each one of us is here to fill a unique, special need within the whole. Each one of us is a sparkling diamond. It's like, the night sky would not be complete without every single star that's there. Each one of us is a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. That's another good song for this week. So yeah, I want to say, I want to just leave you with this sense of that these Sabian symbols, when I first read them, it's like, oh, come on. Prometheus, light, genius, ancestors, the adept, and I'm not Atman, I'm not Brahman, I'm feeling very like weak and small, and everything's falling apart, and and it was like, whoa, wait a minute. Change the attitude, man. Change the thought picture. Change your story. Look at your thoughts. If you're telling yourself, "Oh, I'm a loser, and and it's all over, and I'm done, and this is finished, and nothing's going to work," well, watch out. Do not forget the power of your creative thought. And keeping that thought in alignment with a greater, higher, meaningful purpose is what's going to help us all get through. Okay, it's almost like we're going down this river. There's a set of rapids right down there, right? It's nice and calm here. It's going like a mirror. And right now, life is right there at the rapids. We got some rough water ahead of us. And what we want to do is we want to be the river guides. Be the river guide, right? Oh, paddle on the right-hand side, paddle on the left-hand side. You got to steer that boat. We got to be awake, mindful, present, courageous, and say, yeah, we're gonna make it through these rapids, baby. Ow! And then you can even get to the point where if you're not so attached, to all these little things that are coming and going and this and the that and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you can actually enjoy the ride. You can enjoy the ride. This is a time where it's like, wow, this is wild. It's never been so wild, but hey, it's amazing that I chose to be alive at this time on planet Earth to witness and to observe this birth of a new paradigm. This is a very special life for each and every one of us. No doubt about it, and we chose to take it on. So keeping in mind one last time the mantra for this week. And if you get down and out in Beverly Hills or whatever, call upon the source of creation to help me set things right according to my emotional, intuitive dream, in my reflections, my introspection. Set things according to the way you are being intuitively guided, and do not be swayed. Rebirth myself like a newborn star. So we got to break out of the shell. right? We got to break it out of the darkness. We got to, like, take that light. We are born, it's like a newborn star. It's a phenomena. Yeah. A true, radiant being of light. So shine your light, no matter who you are. Shine it bright to see what you can truly be. Namaste. Aloha. So much light.